inside the locked shop. The murder of Isidore Fink. Isidore Fink was the owner of Isidore's shop, an old-fashioned general store that had been in his family for generations. He was 30 years old, married with a few young children, and by most people's accounts, not very friendly. In the early morning hours, Isidore was found dead inside his locked shop with multiple stab wounds to his chest and abdomen. Police were called and immediately ruled out robbery since no valuables had been taken from the store or from Isidore's pockets or body. The murder and its investigation. On a warm Thursday morning, Isidore Fink was found dead inside his new shop. Police originally thought that it was an accident that had occurred during construction. After a thorough investigation and 2 weeks of investigating, that someone locked him inside and murdered him. The police are still searching for leads in order to track down whoever did such a dastardly deed. One police officer stated they would find the murderer. He also stated that we will find who killed Mr. Fink, and he guaranteed it. They had challenges locating suspects and what was the motive for killing him. Mr. Fink's family and friends wanted justice for his death. The community came together in grief after Mr. Fink died because he was well known by everyone. Court case. An investigation was done on someone who was able to kill Mr. Fink. Not much information was known, nor were any arrests done. They did notice that some signs alluded to someone using a chisel and hammer to commit an unlawful act against Mr. Fink. It is unclear whether it was murder or suicide, but there are many factors that hint towards murder. It's been speculated that Mr. Fink's death was done by someone who knew his habits. He always locked up at the same time every day. Many have speculated that his wife could have murdered him because she found out he was messing with his niece, while others speculated he was messing with one of his customers. A look back. A man was murdered inside a locked shop. Mr. Fink had been preparing for another day at a small business in New York City when he was attacked by a violent thug who entered from outside and bludgeoned him to death with a hammer and knife. Mr. Fink died, alone and cold, in his corner store without having been able to defend himself or reach for help. He left behind him a grieving widow and 3 young children. The community was shocked by such senseless murder. This unsolved murder has haunted police for decades. Now, years later, many are still asking ourselves, who killed Isidore Fink? It still remains a mystery. Who was Isidore Fink? On Tuesday morning, 30-year-old Isidore Fink was found dead inside his locked shop. He was murdered without any justification. No suspects have been named, because police have no leads. They asked numerous people if they saw anything. No one has stepped forward with any potent information regarding this murder. Many people have stated that he was messing with his niece and she wanted him to leave his wife and kids. Where was the body found? In an unlocked storeroom behind a locked shop. Police say that Mr. Fink was killed by an unknown assailant or assailants who appeared to have entered through an unlocked rear door in the back of his shop. Because his death occurred at night, investigators believe that he may have gone outside for some reason and was then followed back inside by his killer or killers. It was inside a locked shop, slumped over in a pool of blood. Behind him, a cracked window opened just enough to get an arm through. That's how police found 30-year-old businessman Isidore Fink. It's believed he knew his killer, which has sparked fears and concern among members. After all, what does it mean when one can't even trust those closest to them? What happened in 1933? In 1933, 30-year-old Isidore Fink was found dead inside his shop. Police investigators don't believe it was a robbery gone wrong because everything inside his store had been left untouched. Cash was left on the desk, there were no signs of struggle. It seems that Mr. Fink has simply allowed an unknown assailant to kill him and escape with nothing but their hands stained with blood. Or so police thought at first. After digging deeper into Fink's life, investigators discovered that he had been having an affair with his niece for several years. That makes you think, could she be the one that murdered him? We will never know. Don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe.